All right, welcome back to Popcorn and Beers. We've got your butter on the top, Final Destination Bloodlines, and of course, our drum classic, The Golden Child. Let's go. Welcome back to Popcorn and Beers, your dog's babysitter's favorite rover, dog walker, wag, listening favorite podcast. Popcorn and Beers. This is your movie review podcast, and we'd like to welcome you back to the show where some use tomatoes and others use thumbs, and we use the stuff that gets you drunk. Ooh, that was a good pop today, Jordan.
It was.
I liked it.
Had a nice echo on it.
It did. And if our audience is wondering, we're actually getting ready to leave England, so I'm standing in an empty house to bring you this show. And I apologize for the echo, but it's so important to us that we get this out to you each and every week, because we're not going to be in a week without a new movie coming out, even if it's a bad one. And we had one, Jordan, this week that we thought might be bad because it is in a long series of just bad movies. Don't tell Devin Sawa, because I really like Devin Sawa on Twitter. He's really funny. But full expectation was Final Destination Bloodlines was not going to be a good film. In fact, when it first got broached, when the subject first got broached, you said, hell no.
No. Yeah, it was kind of our only option. It seemed like, right? I mean,
well, last week, right? We were considering it last week, and then this week it was the only option.
Yeah. I don't know. Are they done? Are they spawning a new series now?
I don't know. They really did end the bloodline. It was everything was ended.
They did. There are some things that I can praise about this movie. I mean, Tony Todd he's a horror treasure icon. But damn, that guy looks decrepit. He looks like
he's sick though. Isn't he really sick in real life?
Is he?
I think
that
so.
wasn't just for the movie. Oh, okay. Well, sorry to him, but still, he's a guy. Come on. You need your rest. Stop being in movies, especially Final Destination. Stop going out of your way to be in Final Destination.
This has made crazy money though. This has been a resurgence of the series in the box office.
Yeah. Of course, the name, people are going to go see it. It's kind of baked into American culture. Everybody knows Final Destination. Anytime you have some kind of brush with danger, everybody goes, oh my God, that was like Final Destination. No, it wasn't. Stop it.
Well, whenever you drive behind a logging truck, right?
Oh yeah.
If you cannot, our generation has trouble with elevators and logging trucks simply because of the Final Destination movies.
Yeah. And how many times did they try to use logging trucks in the movie? I counted at least 3 or 4.
Yeah. I mean, but then now they give you a reason to fear trash trucks, which was pretty interesting.
Yeah. That one was a lot. I had comments about that one. Specifically, can a soccer ball knock a human completely off of their feet? Yes.
I think the answer to that question, Jordan, is yes. But can that soccer ball be one that was kicked by a 9-year-old?
Yeah, I would say no. No, on that one. CG has just gotten so bad. Has it gotten so good that it's so bad?
It's the money, man. It's the money. We got to cheap out. We got to try new studios, new animation studios to make it less expensive, because the big studios are charging an arm and a leg. Look, to get Grand Theft Auto 6 out, look, what is it taking 6 years and a $1 billion budget, it seems?
Yeah. It was really bad. But why not just go back to some of the more practical, kind of just the camera tricks, the panaways at the right moment type of thing.
I did enjoy the 50s set. The 50s set was nice.
Cool.
I thought that was really cool and well done. Even the costume and design.
Yeah, that beginning scene, albeit it's overkill even for a Final Destination standard. It's too many series of random things happening leading to this big disaster. It's like a penny. Really, throughout the movie, they carry this penny thing. It's come on, that was corny.
Well, what I will say, the audience, if you are somebody that has sympathy pains in movies, this one will get you. Like, there is quite a few like sympathy pain moments that make you like, oh, like
Oh yeah.
there's some finger things that happen, some testicle things that happen. Like, there's a few things that make you like, if you're that person that when something happens in a film, you kind of feel it on your own body. Like, you will feel some things in this movie.
Yeah, they definitely tied the deaths to more everyday sort of items and scenarios
Hmm.
just to probably build more of that log truck kind of effect on society with the
Hmm.
vending machine and well, I don't want to spoil too much, but I mean they make it pretty obvious what's going to happen. It's
Yeah. Yeah,
um,
I mean, and they do the music, right? The music
yeah,
immediately, like they were definitely doing a score to let you know, like something's gonna happen.
yeah. Yeah, the grandma or not the grandma. Well, yes, she's
Yeah.
crazy. But I do like how they tied everything together. I mean, it's corny, of course, but it's appropriate in this series.
Hmm.
Um, it needed something to that effect, and I think if you now went back and watched some of the previous movies, they'd be a little, and they make a little bit more sense, maybe.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, now there's a chronological order we have to follow, right? Like now it's like almost
yeah,
like the Marvel universe or like the
yeah,
Saw universe. Like now they have to like we're gonna have to go to Wikipedia to try to find what the chronological order of these movies is.
and that's something that like I am mad at that everything these days has to be a cinematic universe. Like they're turning everything into a cinematic universe.
It's IP, baby. They won't make
Uh,
a movie with that IP. Have you heard that interview by Vince Vaughn where he's lamenting IP? Like he's lamenting studios being afraid to do anything?
yeah. Yeah, it's we're gonna get a Final Destination multiverse next, I bet.
We're in one, right? I mean, we're kind of in one. Uh,
Yeah.
like we said, did they tie up all the loose ends? You and I think so, based on seeing this film, but like maybe not, especially with this movie grossing as much as it is. Why would they stop?
Yeah. That's true. The and then just God, that ending. That ending. Final Destination endings have been good, very good, some of them, and
Yeah.
some of them are very bad. I remember one, there's like the whole, I think it's Final Destination 3, they have the firework
Hmm.
show thing going on, and that was pretty stupid. But like part one and part two, those endings were pretty good. Um,
Would you say this was the goriest Final Destination?
no.
You don't think it
Not
was the
a,
goriest? I thought it was. It
oh,
was.
glorious. Yeah,
Yeah.
because they tried to show you, like they didn't rely on like a lot of cutaways and just like they really put it in your face. But the thing is that the CG was so bad. When it's that bad and it's that computer, it doesn't seem gory to me. It's just like cartoon. Like I don't know. I guess that is gore, but still, like
I kind of like the hospital scenes. I felt like the hospital scenes, the hair and makeup in the hospital scenes. I felt like the tricks that they did with some of the deaths that took place was kind of fun. The being in the hospital was kind of fun, and they again, like you said, Jordan, they do foreshadow it pretty heavy-handed with the foreshadowing, where she
yeah,
says there's a million ways to die in any hospital, right when
yeah,
they walk in, so you know like there's gonna be some death.
yeah. And the guy who's marked for death is like helping him is on the front side of a tilted vending machine. Like,
Yeah.
dude, what are you doing, idiot?
So that guy
Uh,
is played by Owen Joyner. What do you think of that portrayal? Like I felt like he was a simpleton to be like,
yeah, yeah. He looked like way too much of a grown man to be acting like a timid like
idiot.
15, 14 year old. Yeah.
But Richard Harmon, that was the actor that played Eric, the older brother that found out a secret in the movie that we won't give away. So he finds out a secret that gets him a little bit more brazen to tempt fate. He was also kind of like he was fun until he wasn't. Like they
Yeah.
took the character too
I like
far.
this character. Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
All right, so let's get to your review. What was your overall review of Final Destination Bloodlines?
It was entertaining, but just a bad movie. But it was like it was fun in a way maybe like Final Destination 5 and 4 were not. Like it just had a little bit something to it that I was like, this is a little bit better, but I'm still gonna give it a popcorn.
Still a popcorn. I will say this. Go for the opening scene. The opening scene is absolutely beautiful. It's a very lovely opening scene that makes it like you kind of get sucked into what's about to happen. What are we doing here in this opening scene? And it gives you exactly what you want out of that. And the quote when we find out some new things about this storyline, about this family's timeline, where he yells out, "Is that why that guy always wanted to play catch?" made me
Yeah,
laugh out
the
loud.
line. There's some lines in there that are hilarious. Yeah.
So there was a few. The uncle was irritating. I will say that he was super annoying. Her older uncle. He was kind of, you see where the son gets it from, right? Where the slow son gets it from. But what a beautiful house for such a slow person. Overall, you're gonna get all the gore. You're gonna get all the premonition. You're gonna get all of the twisted fate that you will get from this Final Destination series. But you'll get it in a package that I feel is better acted than some of the previous Final Destinations, excluding maybe the first one. And then you're going to get it in a package that is a little bit more fun and modern with a twist of 50s just sprinkled in there. So I'm going to give this one a popcorn and one because it is a fun movie. You will
And
have fun if you see this
yeah,
movie. You're not going to be mad at it.
I'm gonna. I'm not really spoiling it because they clearly show this death happening in the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Um, how do you get killed by a Ryobi electric lawnmower? Like that's clearly, if you've ever pushed one of those Ryobi electric, that's clearly not how they operate. Just a button and they take off. Like there are like a lot of different safety features to make sure that doesn't happen that aren't bypassed in this movie. Like that, he must have got that one from Timu.
Maybe that was self-propelled though, right? That's why you don't opt for the self-propelled. Just get them guns and push that lawnmower yourself. Don't opt for the self-propelled because that's how you end up self-propelled to death.
Yeah.
Let's get to The Golden Child, which was my drunk classic, and I chose this movie out of anger for Josh reviewing Big Trouble in Little China. So I said, I'm going to pick a movie that's in this vein, but slightly different. So I chose The Golden Child. And I wasn't disappointed. It was funny. You get the classic Eddie Murphy 80s laugh. You get the gratuitous, like, sexiness that we got from a lot of these 80s movies, like a water pipe bursting in a house for literally no reason at all to
Mhm.
soak a white shirt while somebody
Yeah.
fights off a gang of bikers. You get, well, you know it. You've seen it. This movie's 80s, not spoiling anything. Where the beautiful, I think she's Tibetan. I think, like, but it's hard to tell, like, where they're from. But this, and you don't know how old she is either, right? Because you don't know how old some of these characters are, like the sorceress that's
Yeah.
behind the what is that thing? Like, what are those closets called? I can't remember what they're called, but they're
Shutter thing.
sheer or something. Anyway, like those pulling blockers that like 50s movies, you saw like Marilyn Monroe would see a silhouette of her behind that, right? So they have that in this, and you don't really know how old she is. So he could be in love with a woman that's like 500 years old because of where they're from. You get not Mr. Miyagi, but Three Ninjas guy, right? The grandpa
Yeah.
from Three Ninjas. It's another
Mhm.
reason why I threw it in there because Josh brought him up. I'm going to get you all these actors' names here in just a moment when I'm done with my review. But the demon, like the demon was great. And is that, correct me if I'm wrong, is that Victor from Underworld? Is that the same actor that plays
I
different?
have no idea. I haven't
Like,
seen that movie in a long time.
I'm gonna have to click on him, but you know that actor, right? The demon, like you've seen him all
So
over.
James Hong is Dr. Hong. They don't even
Okay.
change his character's name. And then you're thinking Charles Dance, who is in, isn't he in Star Wars?
Yeah, he is in Star Wars. Of course he is. He gets choked
He's in
by Darth
Drac
Vader.
Dracula Untold, Alien 3, Last Action Hero, Imitation Game, Kingsman, Underworld.
Yeah, Underworld. See, there it is.
Underworld, yeah.
Yeah, so he is great, man. That man has had the same hairline for 40 years. Good for him. He's in all kinds of things though. He plays a character like that in so many different movies and films, and you're just like, he's the Leonardo DiCaprio meme, right? Where you point and you're like, ah, it's that guy. Uh, I will say this: the animation, the CGI on the demon at the end was so funny. It
Yeah.
was absolutely hilarious. I forgot how long after. he gets his $100 stolen, he keeps yelling about the little naked man running through.
Yeah,
I'm gonna whoop your little naked ass when I get my hands
yeah.
on you. Like it has so many laughs throughout it. The talk show was one of my favorite parts where he takes the microphone from the talk show host.
Yeah, yeah.
It was, for me, it was very 80s, but it was still very funny. And this is a movie you could pass down to your kids still. I think it still holds up where you could pass this down to like your, I would say 8, 9, 10, 11, 12-year-old kids and be like, yo, watch this with me. This was a movie I used to watch that I liked. And I think it will still have a decent impact on them. So for me, I'm going to give The Golden Child a popcorn and one beer, but it was a fun watch and I did not regret it. It's free on Pluto TV. So I invite the audience to check it out. What do you think, Jordan?
Yeah, I think a popcorn and one is fair just because of how the CG and all that has aged. Um, and it's not, it is very 80s, but it is not as, especially it being a comedy about like a whole nother culture, like a black guy in a this submersed in this mystic Asian esque culture type thing. It's not as problematic as you would think. It is, but not as much as you would think.
Mhm.
Um, I like how the bad guy and his stupid name, who he keeps making fun of the whole thing. What's his name? Something Bloom Doom, or let me see if I could find it. Sardo Noomsa
Oh, that's right. He
Noomsi.
does the voice when he gets off the plane.
Yeah, yeah. I love that was one of my favorite scenes. I like that. Um, but I like how his devil meditation, his demon meditation, where he's talking to, you're assuming the devil is
Yeah.
like him, and he's just like doing rock and roll devil hands like this. It's like, yeah, dude, that's
When I
corny.
saw that in my head, Jordan, I thought, how high is he while he's filming
Yeah.
this scene? Like, how on one is he right now?
Yeah. The noise he makes when he goes into that cave with the trial thing. It's like so funny. I can't even copy it. I kept trying to do it while I was watching the movie, and it's hilarious. Um and I but that's that whole scene, like it was cool, but I didn't get it. Like why does him drinking the water, like his thoughts remaining pure and then drinking the water? I don't get what kind of trial that was supposed to represent. It didn't really make sense.
So for me, he couldn't spill the water at all, right? But
Right.
I think what he discovered was the vessel didn't matter as long as the water made it there. So even though he made it in the cup
Uh,
all the way to the end, as long as the water made it there, it was going to be fine. So he could have just drank the water and his body would have been the vessel to carry the water all the way across.
right.
So
Okay. Well, why
yeah, his
does
body
that make
became the
him?
vessel housing the water, so he was able to grab the dagger once he drank the water. Obviously, the cup can't grab the dagger.
Got it. Okay. And that water very much spilled. Like you can
He did. I
see in
saw it
scenes
too.
where it's like spilling. Yeah.
He
uh,
falls to and has one arm on there, and I'm sitting here like, do you know how hard it is to pull yourself up with one arm and hold a glass of water?
yeah. The 80s were truly a time where they would find the best looking woman, like possibly on Earth,
Yeah,
and she would be in one movie, and
and that's
that's
it.
it. Like you're gone. Like you're done. No career moving forward. Like that
Well,
smells like some toxic shit going on behind
probably for
some
sure,
scenes.
for
Yeah.
sure.
But this movie was hilarious. It was fun. Like I said, I give it a popcorn and one as well.
Have you seen it before?
Uh, I've seen bits and pieces of it. My mom really likes this movie. And
Yeah.
anytime it was on TV and I like slept in a little bit, which it was on TV a lot, I'd
Mhm.
sleep in a little bit and I wake up and this would always be on while she's like cooking.
Yeah, in
So
the
I'd
background.
always see bits and pieces of it, and then it would usually get to that final demon scene where he practically looks like he's claymation.
Yeah,
And I'd be like, "What the hell is this? What are we watching?"
with the fake flames going up everywhere.
Yeah, yeah,
What'd you think of the biker gang?
ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Yeah, this is
Completely over the top, like
yeah.
stereotype of a biker gang.
I totally separate part. I like the ending when he's talking shit to the golden child. He's like, "Hey, you got to wear this baseball cap. You want a kid slap in the back. You want to go back with a pink handprint on your head."
Like they're gonna make fun of him because he's bald.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
actually probably not too far fetched in the,
Yeah.
late 80s, early 90s. Like, I remember you get made fun of for just about anything. Like,
Yeah.
bullying was still in vogue.
Yeah. It didn't matter how good your haircut looked. If you got a haircut, you were getting made fun of.
Yeah, or how cool or how dope your shoes were. Like, someone was going to make fun of your shoes, or if they were too nice. Remember when kids would try to, like, step on your nice shoes to get
Yeah.
them, like, yeah, like, kids are just dicks, man. Like,
Yeah.
speaking of which, again, congratulations on your kid.
Yeah, this is something I would never mind. Like if I'm cleaning or doing something, like just having this on, I'm gonna laugh every time. Every time the jokes are pretty timeless.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah,
So for me, it's a popcorn and two. Jordan, what do you give it?
popcorn and one. I used to have popcorn and
Popcorn
one at the
and
beginning.
one.
You
Let's.
changed it
What's that?
at before I started my review. You said a popcorn and one, so you're
Did
changing
I?
it.
I changed
Yeah.
it. I got so excited while we were talking
Okay.
about it.
All right.
I changed it. So let's get to what we were watching. I'm going to lead off. I'm just going to rattle off a couple really quick. I watched Adult Best Friends on Max, I believe. It is from 2024. It is a terrible movie starring Delaney Buffett playing Delaney and Katie Corwin playing Katie. Really creative and innovative here with the character names. It's basically a movie about growing up in friendship, right? Some of us have friends. I don't know if I do still. Like, I have acquaintances that I still talk to, but I wouldn't really call them friends because we haven't had that type of relationship. But since middle school, do you have any of those? Like, friends since middle school?
Middle school, no, not a single one.
Okay. So for me, it was about growing apart and having differences and having one last hurrah. And in this case, they take one last hurrah down to the beach because Delaney hates all of Katie's boyfriends, but this boyfriend's a good one, and he's gonna ask her to marry him. And in fact, he does do that, but they don't tell Delaney, her best friend, because they think Delaney's going to react negatively. Well, guess what? She does. Because she's a selfish person. And they cover that, and there's some uncomfortable storylines that happen. It's basically a National Lampoon's movie if you watch this, but just from more of a female genre of a National Lampoon's movie, right? There's some gratuitous poop jokes. There's a lot of drug jokes and prostitute jokes. All of that is thrown in here. A lot of it for no reason. The funniest part of this is the Airbnb host, not host. The superhost is the best part of this movie, and it's only because he's so outrageously silly throughout the actor's name is Connor Hines. I don't even have the character's name, but he's so outrageously silly throughout their stay there that it makes him endearing to you because you kind of get why he is the weirdest Airbnb operator that has ever lived as he conveys his life story. If you're not in it to hear an Airbnb superhost life story, then you don't need to be in it at all. Let's go ahead and give this movie just a popcorn. It's available for you on Max if you want to test this theory, but I don't even think ladies that have been best friends their whole life are going to be able to relate to this dysfunctional friendship. Right, so let's go one more. Untold, the Liver King biography. So I really hate that he seemed to be a very likable guy. I did. He watched in this documentary, and I'm sure he's lying. I'm sure he's full of it. But he just appears to be a nice guy. Definitely ridiculous. Like, I will say that. Like, he's definitely out there, ridiculous. There's no reason why somebody like him should be famous. But before he ever got famous on social media, he had a multi-million-dollar supplement empire?
Really?
Yeah, so he was actually super, like, he was not super wealthy, but he was doing okay prior to all the social media. The social media just shot him into a different stratosphere. And he had these things, I can't remember now, the ancestral commandments or something. And he does a lot of that on the BS Instagram and all that. But at the end of the day, if you believed him, Logan Paul, you're an idiot. All right,
Yeah.
like, I'm sorry. Anyone that lifts any weights could see he wasn't natural. So what the hell are we doing here? Believing that it's just, oh, I just eat raw liver. Like, shut up. Do you know how many ounces of meat I eat every single day? Insert jokes here. Go ahead. Go ahead. Blah, blah, blah. But seriously, it was the most ridiculous like concept ever. Oh, just because it's raw, it was crazy. And actually, there is some science behind that. If you talk to dietitians, the food chemistry does change when you cook different foods to to include like tomatoes, berries, things like that. But if you believe this and bought into this, it's nobody's fault but your own. And all of you YouTubers that went ahead and like ran to it to, oh, well, he's the coolest guy ever, blah, blah, blah. Or the guy from Boston, the bodybuilder from Boston, I just don't like lawyers. Dog, shut up. If you're really a bodybuilder, you knew he was lying. Okay? So you're just using him and his likeness to make a quick buck too with your 5-minute videos. All right? So shut the hell up. Like everybody that's bitching and moaning and crying, shut up. It was obviously fake. If you were in it, just admit you were in it for the ride or you were in it to ride his coattails to whatever fame it got you. Logan Paul, you just used him because he was viral famous on social media and he was a presence that gave him this influencer status and you wanted to have him on your podcast to boost your ratings. You're not actually mad. So that shit is irritating. Like, shut the hell up. At the end of the day, did he lie? Of course he did, but he was lying from the beginning. Is his relationship with his kids and his wife weird? Yeah, 100%. Whole family's. I'm sorry, I don't mean to insult you, Liver King guy. I saw all your guns in the documentary, but it's weird. He's just not. It's weird. It's a weird lifestyle. I don't know it, so I'm not trying to judge it. I'm simply calling it weird. It's fucking weird. Okay, but minute 42, the truth comes out. Like I said, you could tell already that he was a liar. 50 minutes in, it comes out that he was really like kind of a criminal his whole life. Like he found ways to reprint fake receipts at the GNC he was working at, and they would never question him. He could just return supplements and things like that and get cash that he never bought. So we would just re-return something that somebody already returned. And he was getting thousands and thousands of dollars that way. He was creating his own supplements, getting money that way. So he was really like hustling from the very beginning. And he was even counterfeiting money. He admits that he was counterfeiting money. He's like, there's just places that don't ever check. So I could just spend as much of it as I wanted to, and nobody would ever check me. For me, I think that this story was interesting. It was fascinating because the supplement game is a game that is dirty. Like most of us know that, and most of us know you can get a lot of these nutrients from your regular food. It's hard to get like the protein intake you're supposed to have. So I get the protein shakes or the supplemental protein, even the time capsule protein, so you could drink it at night and it's a slow release protein. Everything else is just kind of pseudoscience that there's not a shit ton of proof for outside of steroids and human growth hormone, which this guy, he's like 5'7". He's a short king. All right. So he's very clearly on human growth hormone. It is not normal to have a body like that. It's literally almost impossible unless you are short, like a 5'7", and very lean. He was very much not lean. He was a thickum. Okay. So for me, the documentary, I'm going to give it a popcorn one. I will say it was an interesting ride. And I would say this, if you feel wronged by him, blame yourself because you're stupid. Jordan, what were you watching?
You're stupid. First of all, let me ask you a question. Do you know how many ounces of Cinnamon Toast Crunch I eat a day?
Are you talking about just in cereal form or the bars too?
All of it. All of it. I watched Death of a Unicorn, which you reviewed, what, a week, 2 weeks ago?
When it came out.
Yeah. Paul Rudd feels, which is rare, but Paul Rudd actually feels very out of place in this movie. And it is like a comedy, but still, like that's his element, but it's still, he just feels like the wrong casting for this movie. And I don't know why. Maybe it's too whimsical. Like the movie itself, the plot is very whimsical. And Paul Rudd, is a very whimsical guy. He's usually the guy that brings that sort of like, I don't care, this is like this randomness type energy to like a comedy or a drama. And the plot itself is already so much that.
You felt he was just too serious in this role? Like
almost.
Too serious, Paul Rudd?
Yeah. He seemed very out of place. The weird, I really, the one part of this movie that I did like was the weird Uncle Fester butler guy that always has the right idea, and they're always like, what are you doing? Get out of here. Sort of type of thing.
He's also in Gotham. He plays Zaz in Gotham, in the show Gotham.
Okay. Yeah.
And he's in Barry, too. He plays one of the gay killers in Barry. I love that actor. He's so funny.
This whole movie, it feels like an episode of an anthology series. some
Okay.
kind of like fantasy anthology series. Will Poulter's character is actually written very good. He's hilarious.
The
I
smug
yeah, I like him. He's just snorting the unicorn dust, and he's just like, "This has unlocked a part of my
universe.
brain."
I see how
Yeah,
everything works.
yeah, and he's just still an idiot.
Yeah.
Like, oh
Galaxy
man,
eyed, literally. Like, galaxy eyed, literally. Like, you can
yeah,
see the galaxy in his eyes.
yeah. It's the horror element of this is like, come on, come on. It's unicorns, and it's just all so predictable. Like it's. I knew how this movie was gonna go. Like 5 minutes into the movie.
Hmm.
Basically, when they hit the unicorn, the movie's called Death of a Unicorn, which I'm not going to spoil it, but honestly, I would say don't even watch this movie. That's my take on it. Um,
What about its
it's
takes
pro-
on the pharmaceutical industry? Like, what
it's
about the metaphors that they introduce there and how it aligns with the modern medicine of today and how it's
it's
utilized to make billions of dollars rather than help people?
but it's all so predictable. I feel like that's this story has been told. Magical creature has healing powers, therefore let's kill them all and exploit it. And
Fair?
it turns around to bite them in the ass. Like I feel like that has happened so many times, and it's so clear that that's where this is going
I love
throughout.
Taleone in this too, though. It wasn't just Will Poulter. Like, I thought Taleone was great too in this one.
Yeah, yeah the it's Power Rangers level CG in this. Again, like I said, CG has gotten so good that it's bad, or
Yeah.
like you said, it's purposefully bad now at this point. Like it's a conscious choice to go with some bad CG. Um,
Make your
movies
movie
need
cheaper.
we need to constantly point this out and knock movies and negatively review movies for going with the cheap CG. I'm sorry. Um,
Or we could just support the movie so they can afford it. Like, we could start going back to the movies. Like, was your theater packed or empty for Final Destination?
it was pretty packed.
Was it?
Not
Mine
like
was
packed,
empty.
not packed, but it was like there was a decent amount of people because I've definitely consistently been in empty theaters for
It's
movies. But
doing numbers, but I every time I go to
no,
the movies, I'm like, where? There's like 20 people here.
no, yeah. I give Death of a Unicorn a popcorn. I guess.
Just a popcorn. Can we go back to the Golden Child really quick? How funny
Yeah,
was the airport scene in Vietnam when they're trying to get through the airport and he's got the giant knife? And he's
yeah,
like, "You
yeah.
can get me to go to jail for life." And how about the John C. Riley looking killer? The guy that looked like the killer that looked like John
Yeah.
C. Riley? That one was cracking me up. I meant to bring that up. I wanted to circle back to that. Death of a Unicorn, I didn't think it was as bad as a lot of people said. It wasn't good. And the CGI was definitely bad. But I felt like it was trying to do that to hammer home a point. And perhaps we're just tired of, like, you and I have talked about this quite a bit. Even Josh has chimed in on, hey, just make a movie. Don't try to make me feel a certain way. All right.
Yeah.
That should happen naturally. That should happen organically. It shouldn't be something you're forcing on me. And I think the thing is now movies like Death of a Unicorn are treating their audience like they're stupid.
Yeah. I feel like maybe I'm noticing something right now. Paul Rudd, and I wouldn't even say Jenna Ortega's not a child; she's a grown woman. But
Yeah.
like
She's like 26 years old.
where he plays a father, he doesn't have good chemistry, like a father daughter character chemistry. Like with his daughter and Ant Man, it seems
Yeah.
like he does not have good chemistry with her. Although he's supposed to be like this kind of estranged, been in prison dad.
Yeah.
Um,
Or
yeah, I don't know.
she was snapped away.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's just me, but yeah, him and Jenna Ortega just have zero chemistry in this movie.
Not a fan.
No, no.
Well, I watched another movie, or pardon me, TV show that I should have seen a lot sooner. And I'm just going to give a quick review on this one. It stars Ray Romano and Lisa Kudrow. This was called No Good Deed. It also has Dennis Leary in it and just a slew of actors or actresses you would recognize. Okay. And I was like watching, I was like, how did I not watch this in 2024 when it came out? Like, how did this not peep my radar? Because it's just little 30, 40-minute episodes, bop, 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 8 episodes in and out. And I will just, I don't want to spoil it. I think everyone should watch it. It's funny. I'm going to give it a popcorn and one. It's interesting. It's a whodunit, and it has an excellent twist. Oh, it's also got Velma from Scooby Doo. I can't think of the actress's name, but the actress that plays Velma. looking super vivacious.
Linda Cardellini.
I don't know. She looked amazing, though.
I
I will
love
say
her.
that. But she's
Love
playing
her.
like a hick from Oklahoma, and
Mm.
it was perfect. Like, she did an amazing job. So it is a cavalcade of unfortunate events, from the death of a son to a family home that needs to be sold, even a drugged out brother. Well acted by Dennis Leary. The sitcom gives you everything you want out of a show like this. It allows you to view the sale of a home through multiple perspectives, to include that of the main family, played by Ray Romano and Lisa Kudrow. It's a dark comedy, but it's fairly formulaic. It is still something that has laughs for everyone, and even some cringe moments for the whole family to enjoy, with a very good twist at the end. Again, I'm going to give this one a popcorn and one. Jordan, you haven't finished Andor yet.
I haven't even
That was No
started
Good
Andor
Deed,
yet.
by the way, on Netflix. What was that?
I haven't even started Andor yet.
Andor season 1? You finished, though.
Oh no, I watched part one. Yes,
Okay.
season one was very good.
So it's a binge for you. It's one of the. I don't want to spoil it because people are still watching it like yourself. So what I will say is, Rogue One, widely regarded as one of the best new Star Wars movies to ever come out, and that's from the Phantom Menace all the way forward. Everybody, I think, universally loved Rogue One, and it is the rebellion, the start of everything, and this is the start of everything. Is Andor, right? It is the start of the spy cabal that is being brought from the ground up, right? And you start to get like a real feel of Lions and Lambs, right? Spies everywhere, CIA versus the KGB. Just it gives you, Andor gives you that real world feel, and you get a lot of feel. There's a quote in this, I think it's by Benjamin Bratt, where he says, "How this person is eating power, and how can we be mad when we're the ones that gave the power to him? We should be ashamed," which is a real shout out for where we're at in today's world, with administrations kind of around the world. We're not just going to single one out, even though you all know the one I'm thinking of. Don't be surprised when this stuff is happening. They told you what they were going to do. You gave them permission to do it, and now they're doing it, is the message sent about the Empire. Okay?
Mhm.
And Andor and the rebellion is out to get rid of the Empire, or to have it be seen for what it really is, which is a harmful and totalitarian government that is going in and stealing resources to operate in a way that is martial law almost. No, it's not almost. Like, the Star Wars universe is operated or ruled by martial law, right? Stormtroopers are run by the Empire. It's not like a policing service. It's a martial law. So in Andor, you get all of that. It's amazing set design, amazing hair and makeup, amazing costume design, amazing cinematography, huge, giant sets to build out these worlds. So many of them are going to come into play as you watch this. I don't want to ruin it. I already forgot one of the planets' name, but we have a. Let me see if I have it in my notes. I think I might have just called it the Massacre, so I wouldn't ruin it. Yeah, they make a play at January 9th. They have the massacre that repeats a massacre that formerly happened. That was it was predictable. They knew it was going to happen. They couldn't stop it, and it happened anyway. So for Andor, we're going to go ahead and give this series a popcorn in 3. Make sure you check it out. We will talk about it more after Jordan watches it, because he takes significantly better notes on TV shows than I do. So I'm sure once he starts bringing up some of these planets that they're on, I'll be able to speak better to them. But again, no spoilies. We're going to give popcorn in 3 to Andor.
By the way, with them talking about Andor and stuff, there's a CNN version of like Fox and Friends, where they bring like a Republican guy on occasionally. They'll bring on like Kevin O'Leary and stuff, and they'll just kind of shit all over their talking points. And this one of the guys, the Republican guy that they have on there, I think he's like permanent cast, like he's always on there,
Mm-hmm.
just giving the worst takes. He was on there honestly defending like Emperor Palpatine and the Empire. Like,
Jesus.
yeah, well, they like they're the good guys. And I'm like, you do realize these are supposed to be like Nazis.
Yeah.
Like the First Order and all that, they're supposed to be Nazis. Like, and he's
Yeah.
just like, yeah, no, they this is what they asked for. They're criminals, the rebels, they're criminals.
Yeah. And it's Gorman. The planet I was thinking of is Gorman. And we have, they're trying to rise up the people of Gorman, because it's kind of like the fashion district. It's like the fancy district. And the Empire is trying to think of a way to despise them, to look down upon them, to slander their names. Can you think of another time that this happened? Could it have been, the Nazis? All right. So anyway, so you're absolutely right. And when you were talking, that gave me an opportunity to pull that up. But yeah, they're very much that population that was put into camps, punished, tortured, and murdered by the Nazis. And we get something like that in Andor season 2. So please pay attention, watch it, and actually take the time to understand what you're really watching. Don't just think that the Punisher is who you think it is. Do some research on who the Punisher actually is before you decide this is a character you're going to get behind there. I'm behind him, but I'm behind him for very different reasons.
Yes. All right. So I finished You season 5. All right. The final season, where I thought last season was the final season and it would have been fine. Although
You weren't happy with the last season, though, Jordan. You did
I
not like it.
wasn't. I wasn't, but it would have been a fine ending. Like, I don't think this season really needed to be made, other than the fact that, and I think it was supposed to be the final season, because I think they advertised it briefly that this is it. But Penn Badgley, who plays the main character Joe Goldberg, he lobbied that, and fans lobbied that Joe Goldberg, spoiler alert, does not deserve this fairy tale happy ending that he kind of gets in season 4 at the end. He should not be allowed. It sends a bad message for women and for all of this stuff. As charismatic as he is through most of the show, they do a hardcore hit job on, like, they fully unravel him this season to make sure you understand, like, he is a bad guy. He is an abuser. He is not the hero. He's not, I don't want to spoil too much of it, but yeah, so they definitely do a job of that. This season, this being a romance kind of show, and there are like sexual scenes and all stuff, it is heavy in this season. Like, they go 50 Shades of Grey. There's no actual nudity shown, but it's just talked about a lot, and there is just a lot of like off camera kind of foreplay-ish type stuff going on. There's a lot of jerking off. Like, Joe Goldberg, there's probably like 5 scenes where Joe Goldberg is pleasuring himself, maybe more,
On camera?
possibly. Yeah,
For
yeah.
what?
I don't know. It's ridiculous. It's just way too much. But yeah, I mean, Joe, he becomes completely unlikable. Every character, it's one of those things where every character is unlikable, and it makes a show exhausting to watch, where there's not a single character for you to root for throughout this, really.
Yeah.
Um, they have good dramatic characters already built in to like kind of tie this up, but they bring in a new character, and she is annoying. She's very unreliable as like a new character. Like, you never know what side she's on. She's playing a lot of different sides, and I just feel like she was a really unnecessary addition. Like, it's already been done before. Like, they bring her in and she becomes his new target of interest, and he blows everything up in pursuit of this woman. It's what they do every season, basically. And I just feel like the final season was not the time for them to try to redo this. They should have just stuck with what they had and worked it out that way. So much of the series entirely was unnecessary. I would say, yeah, the last 2 seasons were unnecessary. They could have ended it with season 3. That would have been.
So no
I
reason
know.
for an audience to watch this season 3, or pardon me, season 4 and season 5?
If you like the show enough, like I watched it, I was drawn to it because I like the character Joe Goldberg. Like, the first 2 seasons, you're like heavy root, like, not maybe, yeah, you're heavy rooting for him. Despite season 1, his girlfriend this is old news, he kills. If you're this far in the series, it's a doll. Like, she just seems like a perfect person. Like, and despite that, you still like him. Season 2, you're heavy rooting for him because you're like, these people suck and he should kill them. Like, they're
They
vomiting.
deserve what's coming to them. They got this coming.
Yeah. So I guess they just do this. It's too much roller coaster of like we build up Joe, we break him down. We build him up, we break him down. We build him up, we break him down. It's exhausting by this
Yeah.
point. So, but still, I give this season a popcorn and one. It ends too many times. There are too many
One
points
of
of the show
those
where you're like,
6
yeah,
endings.
yeah. Like, is this over? Is this over? Is this over? Um, the monologuing of Penn Badgley is what this show is known for. He
Hmm.
does like YouTube. There's like YouTube spoofs, where he does like he narrates random events, and it's heavy. It's more than any season so far this season. A lot of in his head thoughts, but popcorn and one. It was fine.
Popcorn
I'm
one.
glad it's over.
You don't feel obligated to watch anymore?
No, no. I pray that they do not bring this back. Any kind of spin-off, no, thank you.
At a certain point, a lot of shows do often become hate watching. Like
Yeah,
even Game of Thrones became hate watching.
yeah, yeah.
So it happens. I get it. But let's talk about someone whose career you would love to have, and all they do is make bad movies. Jason Statham. Okay? You would love to have Jason Statham's career. I think any actor would be like, not any actor, that's stupid. But a majority of actors that have done one or two films would love to have Jason Statham's career. Like they would kill for it, okay?
No,
And here is Jason Statham in The Walking Man. I'm a
you
walking
pick
man.
you
I can
pick a
turn from the
menial
wall.
job. Yeah, I'm
What'd you
a
say?
working man. You pick, yeah. His career is pick a menial job
Yeah.
and turn it into a badass, and studios will give you money.
Do it, or choose one character, do it really well, and make sure it's androgynous enough that you can do it across multiple career fields. How about that?
Yeah,
Like it is always like you said, "That's not me anymore."
yeah,
Like
yeah.
across all of his movies. So a working man is very much the same. In fact, I've got a little review for you. What? A friend is kidnapped and Jason Statham will come to save the day. He will stop at nothing to transport her back using all his skills as a mechanic. He enters the fray fast and furious, treating his body as it's an expendable tool used to get the job done. With all the precision of a beekeeper, he fights to get her back. So
Very good.
that's what you get from a working man. It is everything you've seen before from Jason Statham. If you just want a stupid action movie with a bucket of nails getting thrown at someone's face, you get that. What about a
Yeah,
bag of cement? You're going to get that. What? A blind guy that's a badass? You're going to get that. Russian gangsters wearing Gucci? I don't think it's Gucci, but you're going to get that. So that is a working man. It is a popcorn movie, but it is cheddar action film. And if you just want to watch people getting their heads bashed in with like boom, boom, pow, pow, that's
yeah.
what you get from a working man.
Two comments, okay. How many ounces of meat do you think Jason Statham eats a day? And two, I can't wait for his next movie, The Dog Groomer. I'm a dog groomer. I groom dogs.
Fuck with the wrong dog.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Still looks
Yeah.
great though. Jason Statham
Yeah.
still looks great. So however many ounces of meat he is eating, it's working, buddy. It's working. All right. I love it. You might want to crank that. All right. Now, on to, gosh, I'm going to get cut up all kinds by Josh. Can't wait. Anyway, on to Josh's drunk classic. What did he choose for us, Jordan?
He chose the all-time classic. We've all seen this movie. It is Princess Mononoke, a anime movie that we're so excited to watch.
Princess Mononoke. Okay. All right. Well, for us, for the butter on top, that's not Princess Mononoke, a movie that everyone has seen, as you just
Yeah.
kindly said. We're going to watch another movie that so many people have seen, and it's probably the last live action movie that Disney's going to release in a very long time, based on what their studio heads have said. If this movie does not do well, we're done with live action.
I think it will.
All
I'm
right.
making the prediction that this movie is going to smash.
All right. Well, we're going to
Yeah.
see. So if you don't know or you haven't guessed yet, this is going to be Lilo and Stitch, the live action film. We're going to go watch that as our butter on top. If you want to join me, I'm going to be seeing Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning, the last film in the Mission Impossible series as well. That also comes out. And then I've got a little sneak for you guys. I will not reveal it till next week. It is another movie that will not come out in America until the 30th of May. So if you figured it out, congratulations. If you haven't, get back to us on Sunday. Jordan, any last words?
Um, yeah, Mike White from the White Lotus was on Howard Stern, and he is the most annoying man I've ever heard. And I had to skip his interview. He is a chore to listen to talk.
He's
So that's it.
he's very much in his prima donna stage right now, huh? With
He is an obnoxious, but also try to support a local small chain theater if you can.
I love it. I said join us next Sunday. I meant join us next Tuesday. Join us next Tuesday because that will be the day the episode
Okay.
drops and you will find out what secret butter on top I snuck in there for all of you. As always, thank you for joining us each and every week. We will see you at the theater. You get the popcorn and we got the beer. All right. Stop. Let's